So now let us go ahead and like first create up the table. So I'm just like using the testdb, dropping the employees table and creating up the employees table. So this can be seen from here. Then let us go ahead and insert some values, 10 values. Let this be specific. Okay. So till now we have like just created up the table, and now we'll be seeing up the stored procedure. So for setting up the stored procedure, what I am doing is like I am taking up the code from line 57. You can see from like it starts from delimiter, and I will take this code till line number. You can like download the script and like see over there 107. So till here, like this is the point where the stored procedure definition gets over. So I have like already copy pasted this stored procedure in my notepad plus plus. You need to save it like whenever you like create a new page over here, we go ahead and like save it as save as, then just mark it as .sql and then save it. So what will be the benefit of marking it as .sql is like you will be able to see code colored. So these blue color indicate that this particular uh, procedure is like the keyword out here. So now like let us see the create procedure. Like let us go ahead and create the procedure. So like the command is like create procedure, then we say create email list. So this is the name, which can be anything. Then we have taken up a variable which is email list. So at first, if you see from line number 5 to 12, we have the declare variables. So these are nothing but the variables as we use in like the functions in Java or any other language. So these are just the variables. Then like these are the data types of these variables. So this is the declare statement, which is like where you can like compare it you with the insert statement, like while we are like sorry the create statement. So you can see over here we have the data type, and then we have the this is the specific to table and the column name. So again like here we have the declare, then the variable name, and then the data type, and then the default value. So after declaring up these variables, any variable, any kind, like you can declare so many variables. Like it depends what exactly you are implementing. So for this specific case, we have like declared four variable. One is finished. So what is the meaning of each one of them? We will study in detail. So finished is a variable which indicates that there are no rows fetched, right? So I will just do one thing. I will just go back and let us again drop and create the table. Now why I did it, like because I'm not inserting values now, and now the table is empty. So this finish says like if the table is empty, so we will set it to 1. So that's why we have like taken this, like we need to identify in our script like if the like if we do not have any values more. So this is how like reading of the database works as with cursors. So when cursor like when there will be any cursor which is fetching value and says that it did not find any value, so that cursor will like make this finished as 1, and then we can exit, right? So then the email address which will store the current address, as we have to concatenate so many email address, so like we will use the concatenate function, and then we will concatenate like the first at the very right, then a semicolon, then the second one, then the semicolon, then the third one, like it will like move on towards the left. So the cursor name is current email, but the email which is fetched by this current email cursor is actually contained in this email address. And then there is a declare statement. This is a different declare statement, and like you can combine these three declare statements together. So what exactly is this declare statement? This is the handler for the cursor. The cursor which we are creating, this is the handler, and this cursor whenever fetches the values from a table and like it finds no values. So how it fetches it, like that is a different aspect and we will talk about it. But for now, this is the handler, and like whenever like cursor fetches value and it does not found any value, so it says like declare continue handler. So after every loop, this handler is called. So cursor requires a loop because every table has so many records. So you need to go to all the records one by one. So so when we say over here like continue, so it means that the first iteration of the cursor is over, then the second iteration will start, then the third iteration will start. So this is the meaning of this particular statement, which is declare continue handler. And this says for not found means if it like searches and it does not find any value, so it will say finished equal to 1. So this is the variable which we have used to identify if the number of rows in the table have been already fetched and read, right? So these are the four declared statements at very top. One thing I want to like add upon over here is like this is a single statement, so this works in MySQL entirely at like that most of the places when like we say that not found and there is a single statement which is set finished equal to 1. So if we need to write multiple statements rather than the single statement, so what I can do is I can just cut it and I will just remove these comments and not found as well because it is already present above, and say begin and end. So the single statement can be converted into multiple statements with begin and end. So like why I used it, like I required to add a log. So this is a log. So now before going ahead like and studying uh, about this particular debugging scenario further, let us go ahead and like talk about cursors.